Live on Stream It Sports NOCO, it's Northern Colorado High School Hockey. This broadcast is brought to you by Jim's Wings, Northern Colorado's favorite wings since 1991. By Pedersen Toyota, everything cars made easy. And by First Bank. Visit any of our convenient locations in Northern Colorado. And now for the play-by-play, here's Marty Cesario.
At forward, number 19, Graham Mansfield. At defense, number 8, Colin Fitzgerald. At defense, number 18, Jake Eichelman. And in net tonight for the Eagles, number 30, Riley Allen.
Welcome, folks, to Fort Collins, Colorado, actually Windsor, Colorado, for the quarterfinals. State playoff game.
At forward, number 4, Denny White.
You're listening to the starting lineups right now.
At
Sorry,
forward,
had technical
number
difficulties.
11, Zach Baba Bakken. At forward, number 17, Chris Brown-Connect. At defense, number 18, Jesse Corser-James. At defense, number 20, Hayden Polakowski. And in net tonight for the Lambkins, number 33, Sam Simon. Will you kindly stand and please remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Stick taps, no more tension. High-level drama ahead. We're getting ready for quarterfinals hockey here in Windsor, Colorado. It's 6:23 Mountain Time here in Northern Colorado, February 23rd. Again, quarterfinals hockey between Dakota Ridge at 13-5-2 overall in the season under second-year head coach Jeff Toll, taking on Fort Collins, 14-4-2 overall on this 2018-19 season under first-year head coach Dylan Strom. Fort Collins last night advancing through Mountain Vista, their first ever playoff victory as a hockey club. Dakota Ridge with a big win on this ice sheet over Pine Creek last night, 9-1. Starting lineup, the skaters that will begin this game, will begin with the host squad. Fort Collins, forward Dennis White, along with Zach Baba Bakken and Chris Brown-Connect. Defenseman Jesse Corser-James, Hayden Polakowski, a talented defenseman pairing we've watched all season long. And then in net tonight for Fort Collins, Sam Simon for Dakota Ridge. First liners out on the ice to start this game, Graham Mansfield, Drew Eichelman, and River Perry. The defenseman Jake Eichelman, Colin Fitzgerald. And in net, the goaltender for Dakota, Riley Allen. So we are just underway in Windsor, Colorado. Quarterfinals hockey, as Dennis White operates on that far side. Back check, puck taken away by Dakota Ridge. And there's a poke away by Sam Simon, the goaltender. Give you the visual setup, wearing the white jerseys at home for Fort Collins, trimmed in purple numerals, black shorts. That is Fort Collins under first-year head coach Dylan Strom. Dakota Ridge traveling up from the southwestern suburbs of Denver Metro, wearing the dark jerseys. trimmed in the familiar maroon. Opportunity up front, right in front of the goaltender for Dakota Ridge. Saved easily by Riley Allen. Riley Allen, you're getting a good look of him. The lead man, he's the go-to goaltender, 11-5-1 on the year, .336 goals against average, has 1 shutout this season. Coach Jeff Toll talks about Riley Allen, saying it's a kid that can have the potential to change games, and the entire club just skates and plays so well in front of him. And Riley Allen, unofficially with 2 saves as we just get started. We're 55 seconds into the first period. Marty Cesario, along with Randall McCoy and Phil Mildren, the rest of the crew, here on Stream It Sports at the Northern Colorado Ice Center. What a great venue to get dirty, doing some playoff hockey. Dakota Ridge and Fort Collins. Another face-off win for Fort Collins. And Riley Allen makes a save. That's 3 within the first 60 seconds of this hockey contest. 2 of the newer clubs in the state of Colorado. Dakota Ridge started sanctioned play back in 2007. They have 1 Frozen 4 appearance, which was back in 2015. Fort Collins, just their 3rd year as a hockey club, getting their first postseason victory last night, a 7-1 victory over Mountain Vista. Shot comes through the crease, and that's no threat whatsoever to Sam Simon. Neutral zone, Nelson operating. Numbers aren't right. Look at 4 dark sweaters surrounding Ethan Nelson. So first line out there for Collins, and then you'll have a quick change. Dakota pushing up, and there's a shot. Hayden Polakowski in a good position there, deflects it. Center slot feed, no good. Dakota's going to keep it in the Fort Collins zone, and then it comes across the blue line. These 2 teams have already met twice this season. They both play out of the Pinnacle Conference. Fort Collins put a thumping on Dakota Ridge back on January 14th. That was a 7-1 victory. As a shot comes the way of Sam Simon, he makes a nice save. Good opportunity there. From about 10 feet out of the crease from Dakota Ridge. The other meeting between these 2 hockey clubs was back on December 10th, and that finished off a 2-2 tie. A big key for the guys in the dark sweaters under head coach Jeff Toll: stay out of the penalty box. Let's give you some numbers in those 2 games. Just focusing on Dakota Ridge as a club, as we have a stoppage in play here. Face-off just outside the Fort Collins zone. On December 10th, 11 penalties, 36 minutes in the box for Dakota Ridge. During that 7-1 loss, January 14th, 11 penalties, 53 minutes of time in the penalty box. Fort Collins wasn't perfect themselves in those previous meetings as the crowd claps, and you can hear that through our crowd microphones. Another save by Riley Allen. As we're about 3 minutes into the first period here. If you total it up, those 2 previous meetings, 127 minutes in penalties, 38 total penalties in 6 periods of play. And I went and broke it down. That's 21 minutes per period. Shot, score! And that's going to be off the stick of Nolan Williamson. Fort Collins has popped the cork. Nolan Williamson creates the 1-0 lead for Collins hockey.
Fort Collins goal scored by number 21, Nolan Williamson, assisted by number 12, Ethan Nelson, and number 8, James Donahue. Williamson from Nelson and Donahue, an even strength goal.
We always like to allow public address to deliver those official scoring summaries. Nolan Williamson getting the goal in for Fort Collins, assisted by Ethan Nelson and also James Donahue, the defenseman. recording a point for Fort Collins. So 4.5 minutes into this game, we already have a score on the board, and that comes from the guys in the white jerseys playing on their home ice at the Northern Colorado Ice Center, and it's a 1-0 lead for Fort Collins. Again, Williamson with the goal as one comes to the near side. Riley Allen had that one sealed. Allen had only given up one goal so far in the playoffs, just last night, in a thumping of Pine Creek. Well, quickly, one on the board for Fort Collins. That's why you see the score bug on your screen. Upper left-hand corner, it's a 1-0 lead for Fort Collins. Arndt sends it, it flutters. You thought for a moment, glove save, whistle stop, not going to happen. Allen just feeds one of his defensemen. Again, 6:03 mark, first period, Williamson from Nelson and Donahue. It's 1-0. Fort Collins, the 3 seed in the 2019 hockey tournament. There's 4 quarterfinal games happening this evening. One's already finished up. Regis, the top seed in the tournament, getting through Cherry Creek, a familiar foe. 3-1 that final score, so congratulations to head coach Dan Woodley and his crew. The Red Sea will go back to the Frozen Four to watch their hockey club, a familiar sight, seeing Regis. These two clubs trying to join them. Williamson from the near side, glove save, Riley Allen, nicely done. Good crowd, by the way, at Dakota Ridge, traveling very well from the Ken Carroll area, Southwest Denver. And I scan around. Collins hockey, yeah, their peeps are here. All on the concrete slabs, sitting in the cold, just to geek up. 55 degrees here in the building. Nobody cares. The action's hot as Bakken grabs it in the neutral zone over across the way to Frown Connect, and he dumps. No change, though. 1-0 lead for Collins. Five and a half minutes into the first period here at the Northern Colorado Ice Center. Quarterfinal hockey. Glad to present it to you here on the ASBN platform, a Stream It Sports production. And big shout out. Talk about rallying. Just last night, it wasn't until midnight that we actually confirmed this broadcast was going to occur, and that's the Fort Collins hockey community rallying to get this broadcast on. And make sure I note what kind of community they have up here in Northern Colorado. Some people say grow the game, some people do it, show it, invest in it. And that's what's been done. That's why you're watching this. Shot coming wide, and that's off the stick of Drew Eichelman, one of the top point totalers in the entire state of Colorado. We'll talk a lot about both the Eichelman brothers, Drew you just saw, and Jake the defenseman. Tempo settled down just a little bit. Battle for the puck out there in neutral ice, and a nice job by Mark Duhadaway. He'll dump and changes now. First line's out there for Fort Collins. Way to step into the play nicely by Ethan Nelson. He's one of those first liners. Dakota Ridge trying to discover how they would like to attack. Alexev forechecking nicely for Dakota Ridge, but the puck does come out across the blue line. And a nice follow by Alexev to get back into the play. And there's a pass off the boards by Colin Fitzgerald. Shot from Nelson, and it finds the twine. Another one on the board for Fort Collins, coming off the stick of Ethan Nelson.
getting ready to say, you can feel the nervousness in the crowd. Both teams know that if they lose, they go home. And so
Fort Collins goal scored by number 12, Ethan Nelson. Assisted by number 6, Greg Billick, and number 21, Nolan Williamson.
There's the official scoring right there.
10
and a half minutes into the first period. Ethan Nelson gets a goal. The assist credited to the centerman, Greg Billick, and Nolan Williamson. Face-off in the Dakota zone. And now there's a lot of work to do early on. We were actually talking about it with the crew where we wouldn't have been surprised if Fort Collins might trail early, been challenged early. They're a second period team and so on. They got a lot of depth. But in this case tonight, quarterfinal action, Collins has jumped on Dakota Ridge with a 2-0 lead. Excellent job as Drew Eichelman tried to rush through there on his own. Big stick across the way and the crowd reacts. McVicker goes down. He's fine because he's a tough hockey kid. The shot delivered by Graham Mansfield, a first liner for Dakota. 2-0 lead after the Ethan Nelson goal. There's a couple of kids hit the deck, including Frauenknecht. And pardon me, that was Polakowski, the talented young defenseman for Collins. Good battles across the way between Polakowski. And here comes the physicality. Including right there, Polakowski pressing a forward against the boards, and then he has the puck for a moment, stick handling it, and then sends it over to Frauenknecht, and then a long dump to clear it so changes can be made. Again, a lot of penalties in the first two meetings. Here's an opportunity. Devine coming into the play, but it's poked away nicely by Tyson Skanderbeg. Radical angle for Duhadaway, and Riley Allen able to make the save. There's some extra exchanges between skaters.
one thing Fort Collins has in their back pocket is they have beaten the #1 team in the state. So they shouldn't really be intimidated by anybody. And they've come out here to begin this game fully not intimidated.
You talk about some of the big moments for this hockey club throughout the year, Randy. You're exactly right. That night where Fort Collins dropped the #1 team in the state, that was a big moment for the club. At the time, Regis hadn't lost in over one full season. Collins got it done. Head coach Dylan Strom would agree. Perhaps the biggest moment, the watershed changing moment of the year may have been a loss against Valor mid-season, where they learned a few things and then made some adjustments afterward, went on a big run, stringing together consecutive victories over top clubs in the state. Right now, Collins in the white jerseys with a 2-0 lead with about 7 minutes remaining in the first period. Numbers right. Simon makes the save. Boy, that was a crafty shot from the top of the blue line. Off the stick of Parker Spahn. They call him Tree. Well, Tree released a heater, and Simon made the save. I had to share that on Twitter, by the way. You got a kid called Tree. I'm immature enough to share it.
Amen to that, brother.
Right now, Dakota not joking because they're down 2-0. And it is actually Tree trying to get possession of the puck. Goes back into the Dakota zone. 6.5 left. Saw Nolan Devine hit the deck, and Jesse Corser-James chasing the puck down in his own zone. Two-line pass across the way. It's good physical defense on the part of Dakota Ridge. Jake Eichelman, the captain. He likes to hit and has a tendency to control games defensively. Here's his brother, Drew, advancing forward. Tries to get through the defenseman, doesn't happen, and there is a goal scored. Well, we'll put it this way. A puck got through, and now we have to await the verdict. The officials are active. One does get in net. And right now, Dakota Ridge is celebrating. They think they have one on the board. And the scoreboard indicates Exactly that. That's why you got to stay sharp. And we will definitely have to wait for the official scores to announce who got that one through. Well, the situation is that Drew Eichelman was pushing forward. There was a lot of chaos in front of the crease. The puck fluttered to the near corner, and one of the Dakota skaters.
Dakota Ridge goal scored by number 2, River Perry, assisted by number 12, Drew Eichelman.
So number 2 credited with the goal, River Perry. The assist to Drew Eichelman. We apologize that's not the cleanest highlight you would like here on this great opportunity to get these kids on screens. Bill Mildren nailed it. The announcers, not so much. We have our go-tos ourselves, and it's the guy with the camera, not the guys with the mouse. So River Perry at 14:02, River Perry scores for Dakota Ridge to trim their deficit in half.
Minor penalty, number 8, James Donahue, 2 minutes.
And right after that, we have the first penalty infraction of the game, a 2-minute minor whistled against Fort Collins. So first power play situation goes to Dakota Ridge. 14:02, River Perry from Drew Eichelman for Dakota Ridge, and it's a 2-1 hockey game. One and a half left on the power play for Dakota. Near side, shot comes through, and that's a stick side save for Sam Simon.
Simon says no.
There's a battle up front, and it's good defense by Corser James, knocking it away. Dakota Ridge, 27 power play goals on the season. Shot faked up top of the blue line by Jake Eichelman. And there's Eichelman again, sends one. Well, stick cleared with the stick side pad by Sam Simon. 47 seconds left in the power play for Dakota, trailing by 1. Eichelman again up top, into the chest, and down into the basket. And a glove save eventually by Sam Simon. Nice work, 33, protecting his net. Beautiful tight shot of Simon. Been called for this duty in a critical situation, a quarterfinal game, because he has the knack in big games. He just fits clutch situations. Puck tapped off the stick of Drew Eichelman, doesn't get through. 30 seconds left, power play, Dakota, trailing 1. Kill unit pokes it across the blue line. Aggressively, Billick and Nelson coming up. There's Billick, tapped it away, kills some more time, tick, tick, tick. 13 seconds left in the power play for Dakota. We are back to even strength as the shot comes off the stick of one of the Dakota forwards. Devine pressing up, and there's going to be an offsides call. Opposites react. One side can't believe it. The other side loving the whistle. And we'll face off back in the Fort Collins zone right in front of Sam Simon. 1-goal spread, 2-1 lead, Fort Collins. With about 3.5 left in the first period. Williamson has scored, so has Nelson for Fort Collins. Most recently, River Perry with an odd, tough angle from the deep corner to get his squad to within 1. Bakken charging forward. Wanted to leave it for Frauenknecht following the play, but it's excellent defense by Dakota. Devine, can he get to it? Sends one through. Traffic in front. That was Bakken. But a pad save. Nice work by Riley Allen. Under 3 to play first period. There's a shot and a score. Chris Frauenknecht gets a third tally on the board for Collins hockey. Well, that's a nice answer on the part of Collins.
Scored by number 17, Chris Brown-Connect. Assisted by number 9, Nolan Devine, and number 20, Hayden Kolakowski. Brown-Connect from Devine and Kolakowski, an even strength goal.
3-1 lead, Fort Collins. Aren't in front, battling for the puck. It's not frozen yet, no whistle. Chris Brown-Connect scores. Nolan Devine credited with an assist, and how about Hayden Kolakowski? Hayden Kolakowski, the second defenseman, recording a point so far in this first period. James Donahue had assisted Nolan Williamson, the first goal in this game. 2:25 left, first period, 3-1 game. Collins and the White Sweaters have the lead. Four-goal burst combined here in the opening period. Nice step-through attempt. And a better follow into the play by Jared McFerrin. And then eventually a save by Sam Simon. You see Sam's feeling it as we get that tight shot on him, flicking the puck around after the saves. Looks like he's pretty comfy in there. Again, a kid that fits the clutch situations. Trying to help lead his team into the Frozen Four for the first time in program history. 2 minutes left, first period. 3-1 game. Here comes Dakota. Score! Jake Eichelman with the rifle shot into the cage. That's a jaw dropper right there. As you see the celebration of the captain, Jake Eichelman, including the playoffs, his 13th goal of the season. And then a shot back the other way. Collins challenging Riley Allen.
Assisted by number 21, Jake Eichelman from Oakland. Even strength goal.
Well, there's a good story attached to that goal by Jake Eichelman. Eichelman scores, but assist credited to Jake Altman. Just last night, head coach Jeff Toll talking about what a rush it was for the squad where Jake Altman was able to score his first goal in all the time that he's been with the program. Well, now he gets another assist, so it's a 2-point playoff weekend for a kid like Jake Altman, assisting on the Jake Eichelman tally here towards the end of the third. There's 1:40 left here in the first period. We have 5 goals on the board. A couple of Jakes have brought Dakota back to within 1. Careful with that puck, no unforced errors. McVicker gets it in the neutral ice. And there's McVicker right there, and kind of just flutters it back into the deep corner near side. Good forechecking there on the part of Ethan Nelson. Now Billick into the play. And 2 White Sweaters on 3 Dakota Eagles. Who's going to come out with it? It's Dakota, and a shot by Williamson cleanly, but a better save, Riley Allen. Exactly 1 minute left in the opening period of play. Riley Allen has been challenged. He's yielded 3, just made a nice save as that puck oddly came in a perfect position for the one-time opportunity for Nolan Williamson. Again, save Allen. It remains a 1-goal game. 50 seconds left, first period at the Northern Colorado Ice Center. Brown-Connect able to send it down low. Who's going to chase? Bakken's going to go get it along with White. And in the end, better job getting to the puck by River Perry, who has a goal in this game. Fitzgerald retreating. There's Fitzgerald right there. And gets rid of the puck just in time for a forecheck applied to him. 13 seconds left. First period stolen away. Drew Eichelman coming up. The leave. And it's deflected off the skate of Corser James. Olakowski goes down. He was drawing contact from Eichelman. There's a shot. They're going to call that. It's waved off. The evener is denied.
At the end of the first period.
Wow. You could hear the net, or you could hear the buzzer in the net, so that was a good call.
And the officiating crew is fairly confident about their decision on that one. The goal waved off. If anything, some more confidence for Dakota that they can solve an outstanding goaltender like Sam Simon. Right now, the Skaters doing a good job getting points on the board. 5 goals combined. It's a 3-2 lead for Fort Collins after 1 period of play and a second period on the way at the Northern Colorado Ice Center.
I make my coffee at home.
I cut my own hair.
I buy in bulk. So do I. Jag tar med mitt eget godis när jag går på bio.
I still use my parents' TV login.
Saving is in style. Start saving with the
Toyota trucks are built to last. You work, you play, you practically live your whole life in them, and they still maintain their value. In fact, Tacoma is #1, Tundra #2, and 4Runner is #3 overall in KBB resale value. Toyota is the best KBB resale value brand, period. Right now, get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2019 Tundra, or get $1,500 cash back on a new Tundra. Find your Toyota at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
After playing the game for many years, and I decided I could either watch from the couch or get on the field and become part of the game.
I became a judge because it was a natural transition from being a gymnast to coach, now judge.
I love the large crowds, the excitement of the game, and you know what? I got the best seat in the house.
Help these kids. Help this community. Become an official.
There comes a time in every athlete's life when their participation in sports is coming to an end, and so officiating is a way to stay involved.
The day I started officiating is just as fun as now.
When I'm officiating, making decisions, a decision that's instantaneous, for me there's no greater feeling.
I became an official because I wanted to give back.
Get off the couch and get into the game.
Become an official.
You're watching high school sports on Stream It Sports NOCO.
So we're here after the first period, 3-2, Fort Collins ahead. And I've got Kevin Lytle here from the Coloradoan, who is covering the game tonight, covered the game last night. And Kevin, boy, they came out shooting tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, that was an explosive first period. And yeah, Fort Collins, they started slow last night. Really a poor first period. Kind of think some of those nerves and everything. It's kind of the opposite tonight. And how many good chances do they have in the first 2 minutes? Then finally broke through and looked like they might run away, but then sort of a fluky goal for Dakota Ridge. And then a really, really nice shot for that second goal.
That was a rocket, man.
Yeah,
that came through
right
there.
off the post and in. It was a perfect vantage point. I was right behind it from where I'm standing. just a beautiful shot. So good response from Dakota Ridge. They have to be happy, and they're probably thinking they had the tying goal there at the buzzer. It's clearly after the buzzer, but you always think that one's in. So we had a whole game worth of action, one period.
You could hear the buzzer, then it hit the net. You could actually hear the two separate sounds. So that was an easy one. Marty and I were talking a little bit. Fort Collins has a lot of confidence, and they should. They've beaten the number one team. So there's really no team they face that they should feel, unprepared or intimidated by.
Yeah, exactly. And I think breaking through that playoff wall, getting their first playoff win last night helps a lot. And then, like you say, and you beat Regis, the team that I think everyone probably guesses is going to win the title again this year. So you should be comfortable, confident, and they're playing like it. Yeah, they gave up 2 goals, but I think they kind of have a swagger about them. I'm sitting down by the bench, and even when Dakota Ridge scored, it was kind of no big deal. Let's drop the puck, let's go get another one. So they seem very comfortable right now.
And Simon, he's had a pretty good year. He's the one that was in goal on the Regis game. So tell us a little bit about some of the other Northern Colorado State. I know we've got some wrestlers. We got a little bit of time here. We got some wrestlers. This is the only hockey team. We got 2 basketball teams or 3 basketball teams playing tonight, or 4 maybe,
4,
I guess, with Windsor.
Yep. Yeah, real busy week. This is kind of the crazy weekend of the winter season.
And really, you didn't see it coming. You didn't really think Rocky would go out and win a game on the road.
Yeah.
You kind of figured maybe Fossil would and Pooter would, but and even Windsor, they haven't had a great year basketball-wise, boys basketball-wise.
Yeah, it's a busy weekend. All 4 of those teams played this afternoon. The big one, Rocky Mountain took Mountain Vista, number 2 seed, to overtime. They led almost all game. Mountain Vista came back at the end to force overtime, then won by 3 in overtime. So just missed a huge upset there for Rocky Mountain, but overall a good season for them. This is the most wins they've had in, I think, 8 years. They hadn't won a playoff game since 2010. They did that. So good season for Rocky Mountain. Fossil Ridge went down to Chaparral. They got beat pretty handily, which is what you expect. And really, that's, it's a good learning experience. That's a pretty sophomore. Yeah, exactly. That's a sophomore-heavy team. So they get a chance to kind of see what that level looks like and what they need to do to get there. And then likewise, Pooter got beat up pretty good by Thunder Ridge. Thunder Ridge had a really big first half. Pooter played them even the second half. They just had too big a hole. And then same thing, Windsor got run by Rangeview again. You knew that was going to be tough. But for Windsor, first year as a 5A playoff team, they won a game. I think they have to be relatively happy with that, as a season. So big day there. Like you say, I don't think anyone expected those boys teams to go super far. Too bad Rocky couldn't pull that upset because that would have been huge.
We watched Rocky against Fossil Ridge.
Yeah, they peaked at the right time.
Wow.
I mean, oh my gosh, they early season kind of up and down, and then just a great finish.
Tyler Fisher, he had to be the top point guard in the conference.
Yeah, I think so.
He was. There's nobody that we saw that could stay in front of him.
Yeah, I think so. He had a great season. And obviously Joe Urwinowitz did what he did. So really nice to see Rocky kind of a nice bounce back season though.
I think they went 11-3 or 12-3 their last 15 games.
Yeah, so something like that.
Yeah,
it was a really
nice
record.
They had a great comeback. It's good to see that happen for them. Coach Johansson, he's going to be there. He's reloading. You could tell even some of his substitutions against Rocky once the game got over 10. You could tell he was looking more of the experience than anything else, and he knows the ebb and flow of the city teams, or not the city teams, but
high school generally.
Yeah, in high school, the non-private schools. So girls, of course, it's all about Fossil Ridge right now because
they're the last ones standing. Well, them and Windsor, I should say.
Yeah, Windsor.
Windsor beat Legacy. That's a nice win the first round, so they're into the Sweet 16, their first season in 5A. So that's really nice for Windsor. They're going to get Broomfield. That's going to be a quiet test. Broomfield's pretty good. But Windsor played Fossil Ridge. They kind of know what those top teams look like, so we'll see what they can do. They're a really athletic team, and then Fossil, and they just rolled Denver South, kind of business as usual.
They
just
dominated.
That press caused a lot of turnovers, scored in the paint a lot, just a efficient, clinical performance. They'll host Mountain Vista. That's another game they should win, the Sweet 16. They should be bound for the Coliseum. Mountain Vista is going to be able to challenge them a little bit, of course, here into the Sweet 16. But if Fossil does what they can do, they should move on. So just another great year for Chad Sauls and his crew.
Well, and I can't remember if you were at the Horizon game, but once I saw them against Horizon, who came in really as the favorite in that game, and, they've got good big players, but I'll tell you what, when I saw the quickness of Fossil Ridge and how they can press, and, it was the, we always talk about the city teams come out and they're typically compressing quick. It was actually the opposite. Fossil Ridge is that team.
They're so good at that press. Such a veteran, experienced squad. And then, like I say, they have that depth, so Chad can make a lot of subs and bring a lot of kids in and just cause problems. They're always fresh. And then, obviously, we have someone like Ashley Stefik leading it all.
Yeah.
You're in really good shape. So
you got a senior guard who can hit free throws. You have a really good chance of going a long ways. And, that was the same thing with Rocky. We talked, Haase and I say, in high school, if you've got a great guard, senior guard, you've got a good chance. And that was the thing with Tyler Fisher. And, again, he almost took them to the Sweet 16.
Exactly.
So good job on them. So this Fort Collins Hockey Club, this team is looking like they belong. They ought to maybe go to the Frozen Four this year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, this is only their third year. Last night was their first playoff win in young program history. They've made steady progress. First year, they won a lot of games, but they're kind of in the weak conference. Didn't do anything, postseason. Last year they got upset in their first playoff game. This year, like you mentioned, the Regis win early. I think that kind of gave them a lot of belief. Won the playoff game last night. Now they just look confident. And, 2 more periods to go, and they're heading down to Pepsi Center for the Frozen Four. And I think it'd be an upset, or definitely would be an upset if it's not them coming out of this region right here. This is a good Dakota Ridge team, though, so this one is going to be a battle, I think, through 3
there's
periods.
1 game difference in the record, so really anything.
And, they played twice this year. Fort Collins won 1 easily, but the other was a 2-2 tie, so obviously they know each other really well, so no big surprises.
Probably not liking each other too much.
They're probably sick of each other, too.
Marty was talking about 89 penalties in the 2 games they've played. So
that's a lot.
We only had 1 in this first, so we got to catch up.
Yeah.
With we've got some rest. Do we still have some wrestlers?
Yeah, so I'll do a quick wrestling. They're just starting the championship round right now. In Fort Collins, Alec Hargraves, Rocky Mountain, at 195 pounds, going for a 5A title. He lost in the 195 title last year. Is the favorite tonight, so I kind of expect him to pull out a title. That'd be really, really cool for him. He's really, again, one of those steady progress. As a freshman, he's okay, but not great. To the runner-up last year, looking for a championship this year. Windsor has 5 guys in the finals. They're going to finish certainly top 3. Probably not going to be able to retain their team title, but they'll certainly get, I expect, at least 3 individual titles. And then Pooter, they only sent 6 guys to state, but they had 3 of them finish third. They may get a top 10 finish with only 6 wrestlers, which is really impressive. Pooter kind of, we thought this was a down year, and by numbers at state it was, but their finish is going to be pretty good. So another impressive job. Barrett Gollier is doing an awesome job at Pooter. So they're continuing rolling on. Then I have to mention Cody Ginther at Fossil Ridge made the semis, which is a really nice run for him. He's a really talented wrestler.
So a lot of things going on. We're going to have Kevin with some girls soccer. And so we will take a break here. Thank you, Kevin. And you can read his stuff on the Colorado, and we'll be back after this message. You're watching ASBN TV.
Toyota trucks are built to last. You work, you play, you practically live your whole life in them, and they still maintain their value. In fact, Tacoma is #1, Tundra #2, and 4Runner is #3 overall in KBB resale value. Toyota is the best KBB resale value brand, period. Right now, get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2019 Tundra, or get $1,500 cash back on a new Tundra. Find your Toyota at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Pay your friends back before they pay you back. Zelle on the First Bank app. First Bank, banking for good.
7:08 Mountain Time, Northern Colorado Ice Center, quarterfinals hockey here in the state of Colorado. Fort Collins with the 3-2 advantage after 17 minutes of play. Officials out to the ice, as you can see. And we're getting ready for the second stanza in this outstanding hockey contest. Third meeting between the 3 seed in the tournament, Fort Collins, and the 6 seed, Dakota Ridge. Recapping the scoring summary, we started things off with Fort Collins jumping on the board via Nolan Williamson scoring, assisted by Nelson and Donahue. Then Ethan Nelson tallied one at the 10:26 mark in the first period, assisted by Billick and Williamson. Dakota Ridge able to get on the board. River Perry deep in the corner with an odd angle scoring. Drew Eichelman credited with the assist. An answer not too long after by Chris Frauenknecht, assisted by Devine and Polakowski. A 3-1 lead at that point for Fort Collins. And then with about 2 minutes left in the first period, Jake Eichelman scores. An assist to Jake Altman. And that gives us this 3-2 game. So if we look at point totalers so far through one period of play, really an exciting game out on the ice there. For Fort Collins, Nolan Williamson has a goal and assist. Ethan Nelson also a goal and 1 assist. 1 goal for Chris Frauenknecht. Assists for both Greg Billick and James Donahue, along with Nolan Devine and Hayden Polakowski, the young defenseman. For Dakota Ridge, River Perry and Jake Eichelman with the goals. And assists for Drew Eichelman and Jake Altman. Stick taps on the boards, that's loud, and that fits. Boy, that's a nice look from Phil Mildred, our technical director. Local hero, Randy McCoy, Marty Cesario. That is me on mic here, and our crew is happy to bring you this quarterfinal hockey as the puck goes all the way down. We flip sides, and if you just join us, again, give you the visual setup where the white jerseys are being worn by the home crew at the Northern Colorado Ice Center. That's Fort Collins, who are 14-4-2 overall on the season, including their playoff victory last night over Mountain Vista right here in this facility. Dakota Ridge wearing the dark sweaters, 13-5-2 overall after their victory handily over Pine Creek, 9-1, and that also was up here in Windsor, Colorado. Big night for the Eichelmans last night. How about the pair of brothers? 11 total points between Jake and Drew. Drew had a hat trick and 3 assists. Jake had a goal and 4 assists. Another first liner, Graham Mansfield, had 2 goals and 2 assists. And that was another game where Riley Allen was in net. He had 28 saves, allowed just 1 goal against a powerful Pine Creek coming out of the Colorado Springs area. 35 seconds into the second period, Fort Collins with a 3-2 advantage. Good shield and neutral ice. Excellent job on the part of Colin Fitzgerald, smart kid. Good story with Colin Fitzgerald. Was a forward, but last year during a fun skate to finish off the 2017-18 campaign, they discovered he could track people well and suddenly became a defenseman to help out his club. Matter of fact, there's Fitzgerald trying to poke one away from Dennis White, and successfully the 2 defensemen do a nice job there, both Fitzgerald and Eichelman. Collins has to chase it down, and that's a nice job showing wheels. Zach McVicker, forecheck successful, but getting back into the play, Dennis White. A minute and a half into the second period, the guys in the dark sweaters from West Littleton, Dakota Ridge, trailing by a goal. We have a long way to go. Both squads looking to advance to the Frozen Four. Dakota Ridge has already been there back in 2015. Fort Collins, in the history of the program, has never advanced to the Frozen Four. We know this year the top seed Regis has already beaten Cherry Creek tonight, and they have earned yet another Frozen Four berth. A minute 50 seconds into the second period. Looks like Dakota Ridge is starting this period off with a more firm sense of control in how they're operating. First line's out there, tapping it is Nolan Williamson. He's having a nice battle with Tyson Skanderbeg. Eventually gets to the sick of Parker Spahn. The tree. Puck left alone there in the center slot. Well, Dakota does a nice job reacting and eventually getting to it as, well, the assistant captain, John Vota. By the way, Vota, since he's on the ice, I should mention that somewhere along Twitter, John Vota's 4 sweater, along with Dennis White's number 4, have been tweeted, and my creative concept was that's exactly what the hockey goals are tonight for each and every player out on the ice, to make the Frozen 4. 3 minutes into the second. Arndt has this puck tapped away. That's good defense by Dakota. And we'll credit Skanderbeg. Ooh, loose puck out there. Careful. Arndt had it for a moment. Leaves it for Devine. Devine tries to send it back to Arndt in a 2-man game. And eventually, the puck comes the way of the goaltender, Riley Allen, and he makes the save. That came off the blade of James Donahue as one assist in the game. That was back on the first goal we witnessed here tonight. He assisted Nolan Williamson along with Ethan Nelson. Face-off near side dot, Dakota Ridge zone. And you see Riley Allen protecting and sealing that glove side. And a whistle blown before the puck dropped. Very interesting. In that case, who's going to get booted? Frown Connect battling away with Drew Eichelman. And a face-off win Dakota Ridge. They're charging, but, well, that's great defense on the part of Zach McVicker at the blue line. Protecting his zone. McVicker and Donahue out there as the defenseman pairing. Shot from the blue line, far side. And that's a save easily for Sam Simon. That shot came from Colin Fitzgerald. We reverse back into the Dakota zone. Good forechecking on the part of Fort Collins. Numbers not right. Good defense on the part of Fort Collins. Working with the puck, Graham Mansfield. First line out there for Dakota. All the way back out, reset. A dump, no changes. 3-2 hockey game. A swing and a miss. 4.5 minutes into the second period. And a 1-goal advantage for Collins hockey. Just had a change. Billick stepped into the play and then sent it down towards Riley Allen. Easy save. There's Billick again. 2-line pass over to Nelson. That's Nelson right there. Sends it to Williamson. And he's not going to get a clean look. Tries to center slot it. Not going to happen. Nelson right up front. And it's tapped away by Josh Ebeling. Timely work on the part of Ebeling and coming out with a Drew Eichelman. And the even strength clear for Dakota's defense. .11.5 left here in the second period. A much stronger performance this second period by Dakota Ridge. Fundamental discipline. Arndt battling down low with a couple of Dakota sweaters. Eichelman's in the mix, and Dakota comes out with it. The rush, near side boards. Hip check along the boards by Corser James, and that's a good piece of work as Parker Spahn was trying to advance. Collins clears. Neutral zone, picked up nicely by Vota. Good shift by Parker Spahn. Calling his name out multiple times. There's one sent from the blue line, easily picked up by Fort Collins. That was Nolan Devine. All the way down.
You know, Fort Collins was living in front of the net first period, not so much this period.
Yeah, things have changed. You sense some adjustments from the Dakota squad. Good period. You don't have to have scores to see good hockey. Bakken! And it is sent away, easily picked up by the goaltender, Riley Allen.
I want to thank our sponsor, Jim's Wings, best wings in Northern Colorado since 1991. I want to thank them. They're over in front of Moby Arena. They're in Campus West, Colorado State University. Make sure you go get some Jim's Wings, right, Marty?
I think they may be celebrating over there because Border War, CSU 35-point victory over Wyoming.
Wow.
So people might be over there after that hoops game, enjoying some yummy Jim's Wings. Here at the Northern Colorado Ice Center, 3-2 hockey game in a Colorado State quarterfinal. 2-on-1. Dakota takes the shot. That's wide, glove side. Brown connect. Falls off his pins. And an unforced turnover there. Great job getting back into the play, Donahue. Both teams really are doing a very nice job, disciplined, picking up the puck and not getting caught off to where there's odd man rushes. Matter of fact, that one by Dakota, 2-on-1, that was a rarity here in the second period. Williamson operating, Billick this way, centering it to Nelson. And he can't get a clean look with the puck. Under 9 to play, second period. 3-2 lead, Fort Collins. Good check with the body, Jake Eichelman. Likes to get physical. We expect a lot of that the rest of the way. Again, the third meeting between these two hockey clubs. A 7-1 victory by Fort Collins and a 2-2 tie. Trying to get the puck to Mansfield on the follow, didn't work out. A little grunt by the Dakota fans. Billick working with it. Get a sense, well, one, the familiarity between these two clubs, but also game film. They've seen the Billick leave from behind the back, and we'll have a stoppage in play with 8:11 on the clock. One note that the crew is reminding me through my ears, and it's a great note. One penalty has been called in this hockey game. And we are 26 minutes into the contest, which begs for my note that I prepared walking into this. 6 periods of play between these two hockey teams. In the previous 2 games, 127 minutes in penalties, 38 whistles in total, but just 1 tonight. And that was a clean hit that the crowd reacted. You saw there right underneath us around center ice.
So you think they're calling it different because it's a playoff game or just better quality?
Well, my understanding of the description from head coach Dylan Strom from Fort Collins, one of them was odd to where, and this is not something you expect every day, one of the officials broke an ankle. So in one of the games they were missing an official, and then the rhythm of that game got weird and way off. I don't think they're calling it much different tonight. I think it's just how these two teams are operating. Devine trying to redirect, and it goes wide of Allen. I do have a high expectation of bodies colliding more and more as we continue this game. Ooh, that's a tough one. The crowd reacts to that.
Bad hop, huh?
Short hopper to Ozzie Smith. Simon with the save. And there is an opportunity for McFerrin. Jared McFerrin. Pretty good look there from the near side. And then a save by Allen. I'm double checking while we're calling the action, by the way. You might notice when Riley Allen turns around, he's wearing a 1 sweater, listed as a 30. It's 1 tonight, but that's Riley Allen. Thanks so much for joining us on the ASBN.TV platform, a Stream It Sports production. here at the Northern Colorado Ice Center. Well, that's a nice save by Sam Simon with authority. And then Fort Collins gets out of their own zone. Frown Connect, who has a goal in this game, advancing. And a great job by the captain, Eichelman. A whistle after two bodies fall to the cold deck. Are we going to have our second penalty of the night? Dakota fans clapping. They think they're going to get another power play, their second of the evening. And that will be the case. A minor infraction whistled against Fort Collins. Man up for 2 minutes. Dakota Ridge, with about 6 minutes left in the second period, down 1 goal.
Fort Collins minor penalty number 23, Jared McFerrin, 2 minutes holding.
Holding is the call. Dakota Ridge on the power play. From up top with a man in front. That was a lot of time spent by Eichelman right in front of Simon. Nelson, shorthanded situation, 2-on-2. Gets one off, that's wide. Stick side of Allen. Dakota Ridge doing a nice job killing time. Fort Collins, forechecking. Here comes Williamson. Eichelman trying to get through. Good sound defense by Polakowski on the penalty kill. Eichelman comes out with it. And a great job standing his ground, protecting the crease and his goaltender. It's Corsair James down there. Those young defensemen, a huge part of the story of Fort Collins this year. Corsair James, Polakowski, here comes the shot. Corsair James with a block. Dakota still operating, man up. 57 seconds left in the power play for Dakota Ridge. They are trailing by 1 here in the second period of this quarterfinal game. Great shift by this power play unit for Dakota Ridge. A lot of numbers right in front of Simon, and the clear by Ethan Nelson. 33 seconds left. Power play, Dakota Ridge. Nice two-line pass, Eichelman. He leaves. Back at the blue line, Dakota Ridge is going to set up. From up top, rebound opportunity, and it's sent back to the far side board. 18 seconds left in the power play for Dakota. That shot wide, no threat, Simon. 10 seconds left, man up. There's a goal on the power play. We're all tied up at 3 apiece after the goal by Graham Mansfield. Laser shot from way up top, Graham Mansfield. Multiple opportunities for Dakota Ridge in that power play situation. A great job by the Collins PK units. But eventually, as time expiring in that man-up situation, Mansfield gets one through to even up this hockey game. First point of the night for Graham's Mansfield.
Dakota Ridge power play goal scored by number 19, Graham Mansfield, assisted by number 12, Drew Eichelman. Mansfield from Eichelman, power play goal.
Drew Eichelman credited with the assist, his second point of the night. Allen wanted the icing call, and it's not going to happen. Well, that's just because of a good chase by Mark Duhadaway going to get that puck. Under 4 to play, we're even up 3 apiece after the power play goal by Graham Mansfield, assisted by Drew Eichelman. Man down, that's Kevin Art in the corner. He's hurt. Gloves over his face, protecting himself. While another 2 skaters battled for that puck, and we'll have a stoppage in play with 3:37 on the clock.
That's twice the officials have stopped the play without blowing the whistle.
Yeah, you wonder if there's a malfunction with the whistles, like the little ball inside popped out.
That's twice. Hard to run a clock when you don't hear the whistle.
Well, with my whistle engineering degree, I mean, you know, I know those situations.
Yeah, well, you probably made those, Marty.
They were made out of wood back when I went to school.
Yeah, so were teeth, but.
Fair enough, I can take a hit. It's a hockey game. 3.5 left in the second period. No joke, this is great playoff hockey entertainment.
It is. I'm all the Randall you can handle there, Marty. So
Graham Mansfield scores on the power play to tie things up. Ethan Nelson can't get one to get to the crease. Nolan Williamson follows. Now he just sends it back to Corser James. Reset over to Donahue, near side. Forechecking, much more aggressive by Dakota. Roughly 3 minutes left in the second period. Fly ball comes the way of Sam Simon, and he makes the save. That will be another shot on goal credited to Dakota. Total shots on goal, by the way, as we check the stats. 18 shots on goal for Fort Collins, 11 for Dakota Ridge. So high efficiency for Dakota Ridge with their shots. They've got 3 on the board from 11 shots on goal. We're even strength here, 3-3, 3 minutes left, second period. I'm letting it breathe because now you have cheers in the stands at the hockey arena. That is awesome playoff hockey. Puck comes the way of Riley Allen. He leaves it for Jake Eichelman in a tied hockey game. A stick getting in the way of Dakota Ridge. Eventually they get one through. And that'll be another on the board for Drew Eichelman. First lead of the hockey game for Dakota Ridge. Two-point period for Drew Eichelman.
Well, as we said, Dakota Ridge came out this period and definitely had a different look. Fort Collins seems to be back on their heels a little bit.
Dakota Ridge goal scored by number 13, Landon Henwood. Just above number 19, Graham Mansfield. Henwood from Mansfield, an even strength goal.
The PA you hear announcing that number 13, Lanyon Henwood, is credited with the goal. We'll have to get a clarification on that. I don't believe 13 was on the ice. 12 was right in front of the crease and was celebrating on Phil Mildren's camera. Williamson over to Billick. Nice save by Riley Allen. That was a 2-on-1 situation for the first liners, but Allen stout in net. 1:40 left first period. Still a 1-goal game, but now it's Dakota Ridge with the advantage. And a stoppage in play and a groan from the stands. 1:33 on the clock.
I think it's Ethan Nelson time, don't you?
We've seen it, right? Well, Dakota Ridge taking over the lead in this hockey game at 15:31. .13:39, the lone power play goal of the night, Graham Mansfield. So it's a 2-0 advantage within this period for Dakota Ridge. And as you were saying, Randy, you could definitely tell, even as lay people, there's something different about how Dakota Ridge was operating and executing out on the ice. And, well, it shows up on the scoreboard too. We're down 3-2 at the end of one. Dakota Ridge now leads 4-3 in this quarterfinal. see all the little things like face-off wins by Drew Eichelman and time killing. And Fort Collins pressing and just sending one all the way down, and that'll be an icing call. 45 seconds left in the second period. Face off in the Fort Collins zone. Sam Simon will seal his stick side as you can see him in his cage. There's a shot nicely deflected by the defenseman James Donahue. 30 seconds left in the period. McFerrin lost his stick. He'll go get that. You see that in the deep corner. More great forechecking on the part of Dakota Ridge. They come out with it. Get a backhand shot into Simon, but he makes the save. 23 seconds remaining. So about 20 seconds left in this period. Dakota Ridge have scored twice. Crowd reacting to the release of Graham Mansfield. Met a big hit deep in the corner by Eichelman. And that's going to be another penalty called. So for the first time this evening, Fort Collins will gain the man advantage. Eichelman to the box.
Eichelman was wanting to invite him to dinner too afterwards. It looked like they were talking a little bit, so.
Well, the Eichelmans like to hit. So for the first time tonight, Fort Collins up a man for 16 seconds in this period, and that will carry over into the third.
Dakota Ridge, number 12, 2 minutes.
See if Collins wants to get a shot off. It's just not going to happen. And they'll take that with them into the locker room and back out to the ice for the third period, which is forthcoming.
That's the end of the second period. Dakota Ridge 4.
Solid 17 minutes of hockey. Those guys in the white jerseys, well, they've got work to do here on their home ice if they would like to advance to their first ever Frozen Four. 2 goals in the second, and Dakota Ridge has a 1-goal lead after 2 periods of play.
Pay your friends back before they pay you back. Zelle on the First Bank app. First Bank, banking for good.
Lace them up, buckle in, third period coming, quarterfinals hockey. Tension in the air at the Northern Colorado Ice Center after a 2-goal surge by the visiting Dakota Ridge Hockey Club. And right now, the 6th seed in the 2019 tournament, Dakota Ridge, with a 1-goal lead. Goals by Graham Mansfield and Drew Eichelman in the second period have elevated the guys in the dark sweaters to this 1-goal advantage. Very clean hockey game. And keep in mind that Fort Collins will start on the power play. And they'll have about a minute and a half right now from this moment in the man advantage and a chance to tie things up. So again, power play unit starting the third period out there on the ice for Fort Collins. Far side, there's a shot, and that's blocked by the defense of Jake Eichelman. Billick sending it over to Williamson, and that's a clear on the part of the hustling Jake Eichelman. Fort Collins on the power play for another 1 minute. Up on the board as Billick advances. Tries to pass it, and it's poked away by Mansfield. And the puck's chased down by Colin Fitzgerald. So Dakota trying to clear. They can't get it done. It's sealed up at the blue line. So that's a nice piece of work by Jesse Corser-James, who awaits up at the point. There's Jesse. He's going to flick one through, and it's a score. A power play goal redirected and into the net for Fort Collins. I believe that'll be the second goal of the night for Chris Frontenac. Jesse Kortzer-James celebrating. Fort Collins has evened up the hockey game on a power play goal. 1 minute, 10 seconds into the third period.
Gonna come right down to the wire, Marty.
That's a fact. First power play of the night for Fort Collins, carried over from the second period. And Collins gets it through the goaltender, Riley Allen, to even things up at 4 apiece.
Fort Collins power play goal scored by number 12, Ethan Nelly Nelson, assisted by number 18, Jesse Kortzer-James. Nelson from Kortzer-James, a power play goal.
The goal credited to Ethan Nelson, and the assist from up top. We called that out. It was Kortzer-James on the blue line with the flick, and the redirect and the deflection was actually Ethan Nelson down low. Right on cue, I think it was Randy McCoy who said, it's Ethan Nelson time. A little different way than we've come to expect, but Nelson has evened things up. Oh. Dakota advancing through a big stick. And a shot and score! Physicality on one end. Quick transition on the other. Nolan Williamson has reestablished a 1-goal advantage for Fort Collins.
Bill Mildren following the celebration down there by a couple of young men who don't need a shirt.
Fort Collins goal scored by number 21, Nolan Williamson, unassisted. Williamson, unassisted, an even strength goal.
Well, you hear the public address saying Nolan Williamson unassisted with that goal. I would beg to argue a lot. It all started with that stick back in the Collins zone. Nelson swiveling on his pins. Physical play is going to amp up here in the third period. 2 quick goals to start the third. Power play, Ethan Nelson. Even strength unassisted, Nolan Williamson. And a 1-goal game, 5-4 advantage. The guys in the white sweaters from the Fort Collins hockey program. The crew whispering and mouthing to each other before the period started. They're nervous over there. Well, that's changed quickly. 3 minutes into the third period. Winner gets the right to go to the Frozen Four at Pepsi Center. We know Regis has already advanced to the Frozen Four. We have 1 score coming through. Valor tied up with Monarch. 0 apiece after 1. Whistle stoppage at 13:43 roughly on the clock. So we're just a little over 3 minutes into this, what could be final period of play in this quarterfinal game at the Northern Colorado Ice Center. Shot won't go through, and Dakota Ridge doing a nice job there. Hadway chases the puck down. It goes behind the goaltender Riley Allen, and the chase back in the neutral ice area. James Donahue able to get to it. And now Dakota Ridge will try to establish a possession, and that's not going to be the case as Zach McVicker steps into the play right at the center line and sends it all the way down, and then we have another stoppage in play. Ethan Nelson at 1:10 in the third. Power play. Assisted by Jesse Kortzer-James. Then Nolan Williamson unassisted at 1:58. And just like that, the 1-goal advantage for Fort Collins. There's Nelson again. Leaves it for Billick. Billick waits. Great job getting right back into the play. River Perry, who has a goal in this game, will tighten in on the bench.
Fort Collins coming out much looser this period than they were last period.
Yeah, that second period was impressive for Dakota Ridge. The way they were executing, they were in firm command throughout that entire 17 minutes. The power play at the end of the second period certainly helped, and we know this, it's factual, it carried over into the third, and Fort Collins was able to score on it with an Ethan Nelson deflection off of a Jesse Corser-James send from the blue line. That's what tied the game up. Then Williamson, unassisted, streaking down the ice in his 21 sweater to regain the lead for Fort Collins. Trouble in front of Sam Simon. The crowd loves it because Simon finds it, freezes it with the glove to the ice. Still face off in the Fort Collins zone. 4 minutes, 10 seconds into the third period. Face off win, Dakota Ridge. They can't get the shot off. Frown Connect felt that one. And he goes off into the bench. See what Dakota Ridge can do here. Eichelman takes the shot, and a save by Sam Simon to the chest and freeze play. Great opportunity there for the assistant captain for Dakota Ridge, Drew Eichelman, who has 3 points on the night, a goal and 2 assists. And we look at Bakken stepping over the boards, and there is Frown Connect trying to shake off what looked like a momentary injury. Here comes Williamson. Right now, if we ended play, that's the game winner from Nolan Williamson, unassisted. Crowd hushes. Corser-James dumps it down low, no changes. First line out there for Fort Collins. First line also on the ice for Dakota Ridge.
Good defense.
Great poke away by Hayden Polakowski. Alex Alexev found the puck for a moment. Here's Ethan Nelson, steps away from one defender, pressed from the backside, and then sends it down. There will be a change. First line goes off for Dylan Strom and his crew. Drew Eichelman still out there, and he's dropped to the deck, and there's a whistle. Third power play opportunity of the night coming up for Dakota Ridge. As we follow Kevin Arndt into the penalty box. 2-minute minor. Whistled against Fort Collins.
Fort Collins minor penalty number 13, Kevin Arndt, 2 minutes cooking.
Look at the time being killed. Tick, 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 tick. What a great job by the PK unit, specifically Frown Connect. And here comes Eichelman. Drew Eichelman with the stick. Can't get one to find Sam Simon. No threat to Simon in net. Man down, good clear, Fort Collins, a minute and a half left. Power play, Dakota Ridge. Dakota Ridge trailing by 1 in this hockey game. They entered the period with a 1-goal lead. 2 goals within 48 seconds of each other by Fort Collins to start the period. Flip that script. So now it's 1-goal advantage for Fort Collins, but for another minute 9 seconds, man advantage Dakota, and the clear successful. Billick coming up, gets the puck, and we'll face off back the other way in the Fort Collins zone. Again, thanks to our sponsors, Pedersen Toyota, Jim's Wings, of course, First Bank, and of course the Fort Collins hockey community for rallying to present this broadcast. And keep in mind, you can also support local hockey anywhere within the state. Get a hold of Streaming Sports Productions. Very affordable opportunities for high-level progressive presentation.
Or do they call that new media?
It is new media. It's exactly that. And a hello to you watching anywhere on the planet if you're enjoying watching folks you love and support out there on the skates. There's a puck left right in front of the crease, but it's tapped away. Nice hustle on the part of Hayden Polakowski. We're about to go back to even strength, 2-1-0s, 5-on-5 hockey again. Dakota Ridge could not even things up with that man advantage. 9:20 left in the third period. High anxiety, winner goes to the Frozen Four. 1 goal advantage, Fort Collins on their home ice here in Windsor. Nelson and Williamson have scored in this period. Williamson has a 3-point night with 2 goals and an assist, as does Nelson with 2 goals, 1 assist. Three defensemen have recorded points tonight. For Fort Collins, Donahue, Corser James, and Devine. Crowd's going nuts, so both sides. Again, love to Dakota Ridge. That's an hour-and-a-half drive coming up from West Littleton, King Carroll area. They showed up. Right now they're trying to will their team in the dark sweaters back to, at minimum, a tie in this game. Dakota Ridge trailing by 1 with about 8.5 left in the third period. Double check the shots on goal. It's been a heavy tilt in favor of Fort Collins in terms of pucks sent towards the frame. Fort Collins out shooting Dakota 34-16 in this game. About 8 minutes left in the third. What a very clean hockey game. Just 4 power plays combined between two teams that collected 127 minutes of penalty time in their previous 2 meetings.
Well, all you can ask for is to be in the third period with an opportunity to go to the Frozen Four, and you've got 2 teams here that have that.
Yeah, Randy, no one has choked, regardless of what happens. Great effort, and both teams have definitely shown why they're here in this position in a quarterfinal. No consolation prizes, of course. You want to walk out as the victors. 7.5 left, roughly. And we're going to face off over in the Fort Collins zone as we track one of the officials. And it's right on cue as we're talking about minimal whistles blown. Just 4 times has a skater gone to the penalty box tonight. Polakowski sent into the boards. Here's a shot, and that's blocked by Jesse Corser James. A great opportunity for Dakota Ridge on the centering pass off the stick of Eichelman, but Corser James took the heat right into his body. Polakowski trying to clear, and it gets across the blue line, chasing it down for Dakota Ridge, Colin Fitzgerald. 7 minutes left in the third period, 1 goal game. Fort Collins with the lead. Number numbers are right. Duhataway, and it's deflected by Jake Eichelman. Duhataway had a winger streaking on the far side, elected to take that shot, and it's good defense on the part of Jake Eichelman, team captain for Jeff Toll's Dakota Ridge squad. Jeff Toll was an assistant under Coach Hines back when Dakota Ridge made their lone Frozen Four appearance in 2015, which we should note, by the way, one of the wildest moments in hockey history in this state, any level. 6 overtime game. Dakota Ridge did not win. They took the loss in 6 OTs to Cherry Creek that year. Eichelman up front, Simon making the save with the pad. Another shot coming from Parker Spahn, Sam Simon. Billick and Nelson. Billick feeds Nelson. Saved by Riley Nelson. Riley Allen with the save. Here's a 3-on-1 Dakota. Shot, score, we're even again. Parker Spahn finds the net. And we're all tied up at 5s as you see Dakota celebrate the tree. Able to solve the goaltender, Sam Simon.
What action back and forth.
Well, that was nuts goaltenders. One side, Sam Simon, then Riley Allen back the other way, then quick transition. Great recognition by Dakota Ridge, realizing they could get that man advantage, and it was a 3-on-1, and eventually the score by Parker Spahn. Spahn with his first point of the night.
Dakota Ridge goal scored by number 5, Parker Spahn.
You hear public address finally announced Parker Spahn as there's activity in the front of Riley Allen. Spahn scores, even strength, unassisted, 5-5 hockey game. About 5 minutes left in the third period. Quarterfinal game, Northern Colorado Ice Center. Again, Parker Spahn at 11:55 in the third period to tie things up. And we'll stop play with 5:01 on the clock. We're going to face off at center ice. It'll be Billick and Eichelman, two of the top players in our state. Billick wins that face-off, and it's poked from behind. Nice back check on the part of Drew Eichelman. Heavy tension here in Windsor. I have destroyed my pen.
You can still feel the nervousness. Now you're down to 4 minutes. It's like you're starting over.
I need a stick to tap myself. Can we do that? Is that against the rules professionally? I've annihilated the cap to my pen as I'm calling this game. Meanwhile, stoic presence, handling the pressure, Phil Mildren and Randy McCoy. Donahue with the stick in the neutral ice area. 4.5 left, third period, tied up 5-5. Here's an opportunity by Billick, and he's wide. Again, Greg Billick can't get it to flatten out. 3-on-2 Dakota Ridge. And a score! John Bota, the assistant captain, solves Sam Simon, and Dakota celebrates with a 1-goal lead, 4:12 left in the third. Heavy stick tap across the way. Guys in the dark sweaters celebrating. They've regained the 1-goal advantage. Collins scored twice to start the period. Went up 5-4. 2 in a row now by Dakota Ridge to go back up 6-5. Stop play, 3:57 on the clock. The goal being credited officially by public address to Graham Mansfield. Turnaround shot attempt, no good. Drew Hadaway, it was blocked. Good chase to the puck. Graham Mansfield. And now a penalty call. With 3:48 on the clock, down a goal, Fort Collins is going to be man up. As you look at the Dakota Ridge skater entering the penalty box. And a timeout called by head coach Dylan Strom. He wants to talk it out, how that power play unit for Fort Collins would like to operate and attack. Under 4 to play. Down a goal. A frozen 4 berth on the line. Coach Strom is on the left of the gentleman in the cap. Strom's kneeling down from what it looks like to me in front of Bakken and Frauenkenecht. Talking it out. And again, to revisit the scoring summary after that last goal, it was credited to Graham Mansfield. So the first liner having a big night with 3 points. That's 2 goals, 1 assist for Graham Mansfield. Most importantly, tying things up at 13:48 here in the third period. The assist credited to John Bota, who I originally called out as the goal scorer. 2-minute power play, Fort Collins, third period, down 1. Up top, Nelson. And it's blocked by a diving Parker Spahn. Williamson and Nelson will work the blue line. Over to Williamson. Nice react defensively by Eichelman. Good start to this power play shift. Over to Nelson, and he can't get a good clean shot off. Slipped on his skates and fell down. What an outstanding pass. Through the center slot to the near side wing. But Fort Collins could not stay upright. 1:29 left on the power play. Collins down a goal. Here comes the clear by Dakota. Backhanded successfully by Parker Spahn. .117 left in the power play. Here comes Greg Billick. .105 left man up. McFerrin can't find it, and it's popped loose. We get a read on what that verdict will be by the officiating crew out on the ice. Goes into the Dakota bench across the way. 2:49 left on the clock, 1:01 on the power play. Will face off just outside the Dakota zone. Billick will battle Eichelman. And Nelson gets the puck. He dumps. McFerrin, Billick, Nelson out on the ice. Williamson up top there. He's got the puck. Poked away by Eichelman. Drew lost his stick. Step through, shot! Off the pad of Riley Allen. Score! From the blue line! Chest bumps, open up the cake. Nolan Williamson's tied this thing up on the power play. No with his third goal of the night. Toss your hat. That's a hattie for 2-1.
And most importantly, Collins has heated the game up. What do we have in the store here, Marty? 2:21 left in regulation.
I gotta expect insanity.
Wow.
This is chaos. This is everything you like about playoff hockey. And good on you for supporting these guys, because they're delivering the entertainment this evening.
Northern Colorado Ice Center. 2:25 left on the clock. Power play situation, Nolan Williamson. Gets one through, finds the back of the net. He's got a hat trick. And meanwhile, long discussion across the way as we look at the crowd celebrating. Hockey moms in the dark sweaters digging that most recent play by their team. Score's going to stay the same. Ethan Nelson credited with an assist, so it's a 4-point night for Ethan Nelson.
What a game. Barking through. Save Allen. Careful, danger. Backhander right in front of Riley Allen. Attempted clear. Donahue sends. Back in front of Allen. And Dakota Ridge gets out of it. 2 minutes left in regulation.
Wild third period in a great hockey game. 15:35 Nolan Williamson power play evens things up, 6 goals apiece. We settle down just a little bit. 5 goals in the third period. Dakota probing right in front of the crease. There's a goal for Dakota Ridge on the follow by Jake Eichelman. The 18 sweater celebrating. The captain, the defenseman, Jake Eichelman, following the galvanized rubber in front of the painted area and poking one through and past Sam Simon. 7-6 now the score. Dakota Ridge again with the lead. Still 1:28 on the clock. Corser James going to chase it down. The Eichelman brothers collaborate to regain the lead. 1:15 left in the third period. .105 left. Billick up front, one behind him. Can't find a friend right in front of Riley Allen. 1 minute left in the hockey contest. Polakowski up top. It's blocked. Dakota Ridge pushing up with an empty net. There it is, and another score. Graham Mansfield now has a hat trick in this quarterfinal hockey game. 8-6 lead, Dakota Ridge. Seven goals in the third period. Four tallied by Dakota Ridge. And they have an 8-6 lead after the empty netter by Graham Mansfield. .47 seconds left. The crowd is quiet now. Dakota Ridge fans are standing up
waiting an opportunity to celebrate. Backside, nice work. Hustle by Jake Eichelman. Dakota Ridge trying to poke one through, and a save by Sam Simon. We'll stop play with 24 seconds remaining on the big board. 22 on the scoreboard on your screen. Right now, the game winner would be credited to Jake Eichelman at 16:30.
Dakota Ridge come out here in this third period just being really aggressive.
Well, they win the face-off there, 20 seconds left. Spending time in the Fort Collins zone. This game started with a 2-0 lead for Fort Collins, and they look strong after Williamson and Nelson had scored early on. Been a long battle since then. 14 goals, 2-1. Count it down. Dakota Ridge, for the second time in program history, going to the Frozen Four. A 7-goal third period combined. 4 tallied by Dakota Ridge. The game winner, Jake Eichelman. Then the empty netter, Graham Mansfield. You know the drill, any sport. In elimination competition. Celebration one side, heartbreak the other.
Well, we've had a heck of a time covering this hockey for the first time this year at NOCO Broadcast and Streaming Sports. And what action we've seen, even right down to the last 3 minutes of this game. Want to really thank our sponsors again for doing this. Pedersen Toyota, First Bank, Jim's Wings, and also Fort Collins Hockey Club for bringing this out.
And it's good that you pointed out what the Fort Collins Hockey Club and then administration at this facility, Northern Colorado Ice Center, did. They rallied past 10 o'clock last night. Once the results were in from round 2 action, it was decided near midnight to put on this broadcast, and that's a credit to the McVickers, the Nelsons, head coach Dylan Strom, the folks who operate this facility at the Northern Colorado Ice Center. And the whole point was to offer this opportunity for you to watch outstanding hockey. And boy, did you get your return on time investment enjoying this. 14 goals on the board, exciting hockey contest, 2 outstanding programs. And we do have to thank once again, before we sign off, what Dylan Strom and his Fort Collins club are doing is exemplary and should be noted with across the entire state of Colorado. They're givers and investors in the sport. Meanwhile, Dakota Ridge, they're winners. And they're moving on to the Frozen Four, and we're going to meet them over at Pepsi Center on March 1st. Jake Eichelman, the game winner, deep into the third. And Dakota Ridge is going to drive back south to West Littleton and Ken Carroll on a very, very happy Saturday night. For Bill Mildren and his crew, excellent visuals. Randy McCoy, local operations, and handling all the technical direction. I'm Marty Cesario. Final score, Dakota Ridge 8, Fort Collins 6. The Eagles going to the Frozen Four. We say goodnight from Windsor.
Live on Stream It Sports NOCO, it's Northern Colorado High School Hockey. This broadcast has been brought to you by Jim's Wings, Northern Colorado's favorite wings since 1991. By Pedersen Toyota, everything cars made easy. And by First Bank, Visit any of our convenient locations in northern Colorado. This has been a Stream It Sports NOCO production. You can find all of our broadcasts, past and present, by visiting streamitsports.com/PSD.